When can I bribe?
Telkinists.
This is what I brought up earlier in the meeting.
Telkinos.
When can I bribe the Praetorian Guard to assassinate Caesar and take over Roma?
Never. I will expect you to do it yourself.
Throw the gauntlet down.
You're gonna kill Caesar. Do it yourself. Come on.
Hey, they killed. See, I'm going other games again.
Can I be like
Did
that?
you get to take his loot?
Yeah,
Well, I don't
Does he
think
drop epics?
He's gonna have like the laurel and a sheet on. So
Oh.
it's not exactly.
Yeah, his loot is a crown and a target on his back.
Caesar drops a crown and 2 pizzas.
Now he should drop Brutus's back.
See, I told you months ago we should have a Caesar pizza quest. I know, bad idea.
They might like the level 60 games.
My best idea is never making the game. No, that wasn't one of them.
Yeah, the best ideas, right?
10% of the time he drops crazy great.
It's not anything to
do
do.
the billing because I don't know if any of those know the answers to the billing stuff.
I'll do my best on these.
All
right.
Since
Billing.
Lauren's not here. About the different subscriptions, there's a possibility right now to purchase a lifetime sub. If you take a reoccurring bill, will you be able to switch for a lifetime sub later? Yes. We are going to have that built into the system. We've got some billing changes that are going to go live any day now, so we can have various forms of payment, including payment for the Europeans with the ELV, and being able to cancel your account and change your subscriptions.
You always have the option to pay for a lifetime subscription, no matter how much money you've already given us.
That's a great answer.
No, don't give us money.
This is the sad answer. Will the collector's edition be available in Europe, including Russia? No. However, if you know somebody in the U.S. who can buy it for you, then and ship it over, then you can have one. But otherwise, no. However, we are going to get some to give away for prizes and some contests, so you can still win some of that stuff.
The Europeans eligible for those contests.
Yes, they will be. Because we'll make Tim take some with him to Germany.
I'm taking a really big box.
You don't have to take the helmets. So if anybody wins a helmet, we'll
Yeah,
ship it.
take all the helmets.
That's a good question.
I think that
What
would
are we
take
doing
the
with all
whole
these
plane.
helmets?
That's a really good question. We're going to sell them.
We're gonna build a wall out of Roman helmets.
Someone should have been videotaping that offload this morning.
That was awesome.
I was interviewing during it.
Thanks for your help, by the way.
Yeah.
See, we get teased a lot about, being small and the subscriptions, but we are actively hiring because we have a plan to keep going. So all the specials that we're doing on Steam, so I have to announce that. There's a Steam special going on right now. So whatever in the US, it's what, $14.99? I don't know what the conversion is for pound sterling or euro, but there's a Steam sale all week. that
Tell your
can pick
friends.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell your friends.
Because you probably already have it.
If you're watching this.
Pay for everyone in your family. I like paying a monthly fee and not having to do additional mini transactions to get items or quests, unlike Turbine where you pay for subscription but still have to pay for mini transactions.
We love the fact that you love paying a monthly fee. Please continue
please
to do
continue
so.
to do so. I'll touch on this a little bit, is that we have talked about different ways of being able to sell things, but that's really far down the line. Anthony has spoken about free-to-play, but the game won't support it right now, so we're not going free-to-play anytime soon. And if we have anything, I think the things that we've talked about have all been cosmetic.
Yeah, and if we do some kind of free-to-play model, it will almost certainly be a hybrid. So if you like the subscription model, we'll let you keep doing that. We've actually talked about leaving some servers being the subscription servers and some not, but we have to figure out how to handle logistics if you switch from one to the other. So we'll see. I'm a subscriber fan as well, so I'm in your corner.
Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah.
Same
Me
here.
too. General development. This is gonna be everything else. Does Heatwave think that focus on development should be firstly on expanding on what makes Gods and Heroes unique within the plethora of MMOs like the estate system, minions, mythology, history, rather than traditional MMO content that is available on every other MMO?
Yes.
All right.
There you go.
What's that?
Pretty
No?
basic question.
What will the
People
emphasis
design
be
it,
for
so-
max level? 40 when it's released. Will it be gear grind progression, or do you have other more original ideas and concepts?
Uh-oh.
It'll be It'll be the same kind of progression that you're used to. There is more instances though, so you're going to have more of that kind of stuff to play with.
Oh, so the answer to the last question was no.
No. The answer to the last question was yes. The answer to what we have at 40 right now is more of what you're used to.
Oh, okay.
I mean, a lot of that stuff is already basically in the can. We inherited it from Perpetual, and we have to, you know, take it out of the box, shine it up, and get ready to go out. So we're not going to probably try to reinvent that a whole lot. But like I said, I do think that since it's got more dungeons, I think it'll be more interesting as an in-game proposition than probably where we are now.
Well, what it really kind of touches back to the first question, because while that kind of progression is still going to be there, it's the added features, things that we're adding in that aren't already there, that are going to...
I mean, our game is, I mean, there's always going to be a world, there's always going to be quests, there's always going to be instances, but there's a lot of stuff we want to do with the states, and we want to do a lot of stuff with political factions, and, you know, we want to bring the gods in. I mean, like I said, we want to get the story a bit more, you know, recognizable as far as, you know, Roman mythology goes. So, you know, some of the stuff are things that, you know, are already in the can, so we're not going to be changing them a whole lot, but our future plans for active development are going to be focusing on the things that are distinctly Gods and Heroes.
This is where we're sending them to Germany.
I talk good.
You talk good. Do you have any plan to have different starting grounds? The same one where everyone goes through is kind of redundant. Any idea would be having starting zones 3 or 4 and let them pick which one they want to start? They could have the similar story about being abducted, but just in different places. Depending on what class or god, where you start.
I mean, it's something we could play with. I think that if we may give you the option to just skip that and go right into the gameplay, then that problem is somewhat reduced. I would like to make the starting experience a little bit more riveting than it currently is, because you know, right now it's pretty rote. You know, it's nice line, nothing especially spectacular happens. So, you know, I think we can improve that. You know, it'd be cool if different classes had really different, you know, forks of content at the beginning. You know, that's something that you see in a lot of games. I'm just not sure that that's quite where we see our biggest problems right now. So,
any plans on server/world events? The 3 of us have talked about that, of doing, you know, live events versus, you know, what we could do to have, you know, big combat battles and things. And much like anything, you know, we have to go with what we've inherited from Perpetual and then build on that. So it is something that I know Tim has been working on about what we can do tool-wise about creating events. But we are looking at having about supporting role-playing events, the role-playing group. I believe, you guys can tell me if I'm right, it's on Bacchus or Mars is the big one. And so we can start showing up now that we're not doing these super hard development 14, 18-hour days.
now that we have Zone and Global Chat, it'll be a bit easier to actually do that stuff than it had been before as well. I mean, that's the kind of thing that you kind of have to have a good tool set around. I would like to start doing, you know, seasonal things as well, like, you know, Bacchus comes around, it'd be cool to have stuff around it.
That'd be awesome. I have to change the rating for
This week, yeah, man. All right.
1 week only. I think we covered this in another chat, but will there be a test server available for players to beta test possible addition and fixes to the game before it's released in an official patch?
Yeah, we've already got plans to do that. We've actually got a server kind of set aside for that kind of thing already. Basically, at this point, we're waiting for the really big content things that we need you guys to help us with. So that's definitely in the cards for the future.
I know a lot of people are looking for this content, but would it be possible to move the level 30 trainers to Rome until it is released?
So Rome is released for the
Till the level 30 through 40.
You can't
31. You
plate
can't chain.
or mail or leather because those guys are in Prenest. Yeah, we could move those guys. Then again, those skills are for 31 to 40 content. Yeah. So getting it now. Either way.
Yeah, we should probably look at that.
Yeah, there you go. This is where the magic happens. If the levels aren't planned on being released for a while, would a new 30 dungeon / event be in the mix?
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility. I mean, if we have a drought, we do have stuff that's largely ready. We'd have to rebalance and retool and probably integrate it into the quest line. But yeah, if we have a gap, we may very well do something like that.
Do you ever plan to implement mobile apps such as mobile auction houses, equipment lookups, and chats?
I'd love to.
Yeah,
That sounds pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah, we had talked about having a lot of social tools that built into the game, but
Yeah.
we just didn't have the resources, to be able to do it. But it's definitely something that we've got on the radar about how we'd like to do that. We have a lot of people who are very supportive of it. Lots of programming time. For our last question, Broken Quest.
Already answered.
Oh, yeah,
Already
we-
answered.
Asked and answered.
Fixed.
Fixed words. All right, now we'll get some of you guys from the chat room. So get your fingers going here. I don't know how many we have. My
Wow.
moderators are taking.
Somebody's going through withdrawal.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Do we,
Here. When is the scout coming? We got the. I wasn't even answering.
Yeah, that was I.
Most minions have same stats besides cosmetics. Could they be a little different?
It could.
They very much repeat they have.
All right, another different answer.
Right now they get most of their stats actually from the gear, which basically all shares from a static formula. It's basically shared between all of them. I mean, I think mixing the minions a lot more is definitely one of the ways we'll look at making them a bit more interesting. Because right now they are very, very similar. So
We'd have to change the minion pack in before we started getting fancy with them.
yeah.
All right. Define soon.
Very soon.
It just says divine soon.
To what question? Because there's a different soon
There
based on the
is.
question.
Yeah,
asked.
many soons.
Can we explain why we say soon?
They know.
Why don't you take
So,
that?
so let's say I tell you that we're going to release a bunch of content as soon as we leave this meeting, or at 5 o'clock.
Except that
whatever.
we're not.
We're not.
It's too
But
late.
I'm
You've already
fired.
done it.
So
Again?
let's say we're releasing a bunch of stuff at 5 o'clock, and then at 4 o'clock some catastrophic event happens, and we're not going to be able to fix it in time for the 5 o'clock launch. So you guys now, knowing that it's coming at 5 o'clock, now think that we're a bunch of liars who are stringing you along the whole time. So we can't tell you things are 100% sure to happen. So we tell you soon, and we really do mean soon. Like, look up in the dictionary soon. We mean soon, very soon.
It's like coming
We
soon.
missed the date at
But-
their meetings. And,
Yes. Again, not 5 o'clock soon, but soon.
Probably not
if-
6 o'clock.
If you were to look at things that our CEO has gone out and said recently, you'd probably get an idea for how soon.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hey.
He doesn't get beatings.
He administers
He
the
administers
meetings.
them, yeah.
All right, and this is just a joke one because my friend Kool-Aider says, will it be possible in the future to make your characters tiny or hobbit-like? Shut up. I'm just going to answer it right
Well,
there.
when
Just
you're
like-
playing the wrong
like-
game.
Well, when Armenia stomps on you, you get really short.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, it does seem like an evasive blanket answer, but we've been trained for a long time in the game industry that giving actual specific dates is just always a recipe for disaster.
Are you still on that?
They're still talking
Oh.
about it.
Okay.
We know it's a frustrating answer.
I
We-
can't watch the TV because the delay makes me dizzy.
It's a necessary evil.
It is a necessary evil. We're
You-
we're as frustrated about it as you are.
You would hate us more if we told you one thing and it didn't happen. So,
Oh, that's a delay.
Yeah, there's a huge delay
Yeah.
on this.
Yeah, that one's live and this
Yeah,
one's
so-
done like a
Yeah,
5,
so
6
I was screening
delay.
it here.
Confusing.
you'll be
let's
happy
see.
with the time frame.
How come trainers aren't in the capital? I understand they're busy working in Rome, but no sense to go and see them during their off-work days in suburbia towns. What? The scout question?
You have to go to Aussie and Arisia to train anything. There aren't any trainers in Rome.
Oh.
That's weird.
Not weird so much as there just aren't any trainers.
Wait.
Is it
Alright.
from the capital?
Yes, there are.
Sure.
Where?
Pretty sure there's a building for every class.
Yeah, like if you're in
There's a
music,
building
you
for
go to-
every god in Rome, but there aren't necessarily trainers there.
Yeah, there are.
I've never used the trainers in Rome. I always go to
When
Ostia.
we get
That's
that
because
that's
ones in
a
Aussie are
little vendor,
convenient.
huh?
Because the ones in Aussie and Arisia are more convenient.
They're there. I mean, I've used
It's
them
entirely
before.
possible that they're there, but much like the players, I go to Asti and Arisia because I have no idea where the hell they are in Rome.
Well, see, we're going to put that little
If only
system
we
in
had a
where you can
map
see on
icon.
your map. Yeah, if only there was a map icon showing you where to go.
We'll implement that soon.
Now you're just pissing them off.
I'm just pissing Dave off.
I'm not pissed off, man. That's already implemented.
Yeah.
He's got a coffee cup full of beer. He's fine.
Yeah.
What have we talked about? Just join.
Yeah, give us a synopsis over the last hour.
We should start over.
All right, any last questions? We have 4 minutes.
Where are the cats?
Where are my cats? Todd?
There's cats everywhere.
Shouldn't you
They're
know
all
the answer
one
to that
color.
question?
That's not me. That's it.
See, it's hard to win the loyalty of a cat, so you have to really try to be super nice to the cats in the world.
There's the one cat lady who lives in that hut.
Can I do like a mini games like?
Any patches this week, Mike?
You're going to a dark place already.
Oh yes. Possible. What's it, Mike Jones
No. I totally
To get this
remember.
fixed.
Oh
Everything
no,
about
trust
the
me,
cats.
we remember the cat conversation.
Yes.
Oh yes.
That sounds like one I wasn't around for.
Can this game compete with Sweater?
Of course, duh.
It doesn't have to. Totally different.
They're totally different
They're
genres.
totally different games.
Yeah.
You both said a really long time ago with empires and dudes with swords. You know, our game doesn't have the force.
True.
Or 180,000 hours of voiceover.
That is a lot of those.
It is.
Half an hour of voiceover.
That was a depressing turn. What's next?
Just playing.
I mean, I'm not worried about Sweater, frankly.
Why do I have to take my shield off in order to put a trinket in my offhand?
Yeah, 'cause no one's talking about that game on the internet.
Wait, what?
Anybody want to answer that question?
Do we know this?
So you want to be able to hold the trinket and have your shield like that?
What trinket?
What if we show this kid crushes it?
It's the monkey trap, right? You have to get the monkey piece of salt, and they stick their hand through a hole. They can't pull their fist out of the hole. It's the same thing. If you have the trinket in your hand, you can't get it to loose. So you have to-
I think it's realism.
It could be something in your
Wow.
offhand when you already have something in your offhand. Didn't we fix that today or something?
That was
No.
a creative
Fix
answer to
something?
it.
Fix
That was a dumb question.
I thought someone made it so you could put something in your offhand when you already had something in your offhand.
Oh
It
yeah,
would, it would
AT
switch items.
I
AT
did
was
that.
just doing that.
Yeah.
Oh, you did.
Why not use a pocket for a trinket so that way I'm not having to drop the shield to use the trinket?
Wait, what trinket?
You already have those.
Offhand items.
Now I'm
Bracelets.
confused.
Trinkets are offhand items.
It's
The
like
Steam
I have a wand
sale.
and a book or something.
I mean, fundamentally, it's because we'll be able to balance the slot. Say you either get to have the shield or the trinket. I mean, that's the boring game design answer. Defies logic because that's how we balance.
There you go.
Steam sale is ends Monday,
Monday.
next Monday.
Monday.